Melchizedek, the 26th of June 2024. It is true that the Bible is contextual, that it applies to Judaism and Christianity. However, it doesn't mean that it is not relevant to Islam. Muslims are required by God to believe in the Bible as well as the Gospels. So, politicians are able to interpret the Bible the way they want, calling whichever party they don't like Gentiles or Amalekites and do whatever God said to do against them. But we are not allowed to interpret the Bible like that. Common people are not allowed to interpret the Bible like they see or understand it to mean, but politicians are okay to do it. There is no Islamic Antichrist. The individual himself is the alter ego of Jesus, a person who will claim to be God, and Jesus never said that about himself. The Antichrist is a human being. The Antichrist will claim he is God. Every nation before Jesus warned about the Antichrist. In Islamic teachings about this individual, he is a person whom God will vanquish. His emergence marks the end of times. He will emerge and will be actually worshipped by some sects of Jews, and because they are God's favored people, God will be wrathful when they worship him. The mark of the beast is not the mark from the Antichrist. It is a mark that is given to people by an actual beast or animal, who will appear when the Antichrist appears. It will be required that people recognize who worships the Antichrist and who worships God. It will not be easy for people to distinguish themselves without an actual mark on the forehead. The mark is given by an animal who will appear alongside the Antichrist. It will speak to people in a language they understand, and it will stamp a mark on every person's foreheads, either believer or disbeliever. Whoever worships the Antichrist will be a disbeliever. The Antichrist is one individual. It is not too ambiguous. Humans, however, make it an issue upon which to fight one another. Christians and Jews do not like Muslims, so rather than learning from one another on how to fight the Antichrist together, they make it a reason to dispute. Neither of them has any chance against the Antichrist. Beating him will require an actual messenger from God to help. Therefore, Jesus will come back. All Muslims believe this. We also believe that when the Jews see Jesus coming down from heaven, they will believe in him as a messenger. They would not become Christians because Christianity in its original Jesus-led form was Islam, the same faith that makes a person a believer. We just failed to make it a unified religion. When Jesus comes back, all believers will follow the same religion, Islam. It is the will of God. He will say monstrous things about God Most High, and then you go ahead and say what you said about God? I mean, you can't even say that even publicly, but truly, our generation of humans have such an audacity. The Antichrist will say blasphemous things about God. He will call himself Allah, although he knows that Allah is the only God. Similar to what Pharaoh said when he said, "I'm your Lord, the Most High." The Antichrist will do the same, but will refer to himself with Allah's unique and holy name. You don't have to explain it any further and give hypothetical scenarios how the Antichrist will blaspheme God. Humans are idiots sometimes. The Antichrist will not go to the temple and say, "God is, I am him." This is a hypothetical scenario and a hypothetical statement that you are conjuring about what the Antichrist would say. You yourself should not say it. It's a form of blasphemy. He will call God all sorts of names and will exalt himself. The caliph is essentially the pope, the president, and the general of the Islamic world, all wrapped up into one office. And it is mandated by Islamic law that there is a caliph at all times. The martyrs at the end of times are considered the best martyrs of all time. I would assume some of them would ask God to be resurrected again, to fight against the Dajjal over and over again until Isa is sent back to earth. Until Isa, peace be upon him, is sent back to earth. Because we don't really forgive ourselves, do we? We just delay it. We know that one day we will stand before Allah and He will be the one to forgive us. Yeah, there is a Qudsi hadith which says that if a person prefers living in the state of sadness, Allah leaves him to live in it. But I don't prefer living in sadness. Forgiving oneself is not easy, knowing that we will be reminded of everything we've done in our lives. It is difficult to come at it with the consideration that hell could also be a destination, that even if we live our lives in total dedication, our last moments are the ones that matter. I would never commit suicide. It is not only about suicide. Can we forgive ourselves for the sins we have committed ourselves, even if Allah forgave them? I find it hard to forgive myself, that's all, even though I'm drowning in it. Surah Al-Muddathir, the 28th of June 2024. Melchizedek means my king is righteous.